And this is Table. So we have this fancy computer I'm going to operate a little bit. We are Table Delivery, so we are a food ordering platform. We are a lot like an Amazon, where you would go to us, you would find something local, something that you'd like to eat, order off it, and then a local provider would actually service the last mile of the product and get it to you. So I'll talk a little bit about the industry and how we operate. So when we looked at the industry, I come from a food delivery service background and restaurant background pretty much my entire life. And one of the primary components for food delivery services were local. They're small mom and pop operations that can sometimes grow to a handful of $1 million in sales every year, so they're pretty successful. And what they do is they go to local restaurants and they say, you don't deliver, but I know a lot of people who want to get your food. Let us be that provider. Let us be that gap filler and bring that to your customers. And so often they'll enter into a contract, and then the delivery service, their main components are sales and marketing, customer acquisition, and then actual logistics, which seems pretty easy, but can be a bit of a nightmare when you've got, let's say, 100 deliveries going out between 5 and 7. And they work with restaurants all over the place. So imagine each one of you are a restaurant, and I have to deliver from every one of you to customers around the entire city. That can be a bit problematic. And so they have got some software and some processes in place that really assist in that. And as the industry kind of grew, you had companies that saw this space and said, okay, well, we can solve a lot of the heartaches and the headaches with technology, which is great. I love technology. And they went out and they raised a ton of money. Some of them have raised like $500 million, which I can't even imagine. And so they kind of did a good job at first, and then we started kind of seeing some of the cracks, and this is where we saw some problems in the industry. So you have some of these larger funded corporations working out of a single location and fulfilling the entire United States. And I don't know about you, but when I order food and I have a problem, it's hard for me to contact someone in New York City when I'm here, not over there. So we took a look at it and we said, okay, so first off, they started adjusting the price slightly. So you probably have your favorite restaurants and you go, you know what your favorite food costs, right? So I know if I go to Chipotle, what a Chipotle burrito costs, generally, within maybe $1. But they would mark up the price. And on their site, they wouldn't actually tell you that it's different. There'd be some disclaimer in their 300-page terms of service that would tell you that the price is different, but you'd never see that. And it wasn't until you got the bill or potentially they altered the price after you checked out that you'd see that the price was different. And you saw that as kind of a giant communications problem and could lead to customer service issues. We looked at these portals, that's what they're now generally known as, and they kind of ignore customer service. I can't tell you how many stories I hear about companies where the only way to get a hold of them is to tweet them. And I'm on Twitter, I don't tweet often, I just read some things. But to get someone to handle a food problem, if I get an order delivered to me that's cold, and I have to tweet you, and then the response is, we'll get back to you within 48 hours, we are way past that time frame, right? I need an answer like in the next 5 minutes, not 48 hours. That's just insane. And then connectivity. So the problem with these portals is they kind of looked at the local delivery services that were ingrained in the community. They went to events, you knew who they were. By and large, all of their customer service reps, you knew them. The drivers were known by name and sometimes requested. There was no way for them to connect with those people and then again to you guys because they just kind of didn't care about customer service. When you raise hundreds of millions of dollars like that, typically you're all about scale and getting as many customers in as you can. So a lot of their customers are one and done, as we call it. And we looked at that, and a service, an industry the size of this probably should not have those kinds of problems. So what Table did is we went and we decided to come up with a solution. Now Table was actually born by a lot of local delivery services across the country. We belong to an association called the Restaurant Marketing and Delivery Association. And every year we talk about these things, and we talk about how these portals were kind of ruining it for us because of all those problems that we just talked about. And we said, okay, how can we beat them? None of us can raise $500 million. That's just not a possibility. And then we kind of looked at it, we tilted it a bit, and we said, okay, it's more like a race. So these portals had started hiring their own delivery drivers, which is also problematic when you are in Chicago hiring a delivery driver in Eau Claire. You don't see them, you don't know anything about them, you run their MVR, their motor vehicle report, and that's it. No accidents, you're fine to go. No, not really. And there's no checks and balances with, how do they present themselves? Are they wearing ripped jeans today? Did they shower this morning? Things like that. And so we said, okay, if they're gonna do that, it's gonna take them a lot of time to amass a good network of delivery drivers across the country. We already have them. So I have 27 partners in Table that are across the whole US, and they deal with drivers every single day, they deal with customer service reps, they literally see them in front of their face on a daily basis. So why can't we come together and solve this problem? And that's where Table became a reality. What we did is we created a company to represent us on a national level, to do everything that these large funded companies were doing, but with the local connectivity, where we are comprised of these local enterprises, and every single order we transact, it gets filtered down to someone you know is actually taking care of you, someone that has a name and a face, someone that you can count on, and then we coach with them and talk to them about the different procedures and things to actually care about customer service and the people you're serving. So we built the Table platform. And it's a way for you, because sometimes it's hard to find those local services, to find them. So our primary objective is sales and marketing. Transparency. Everything we do is upfront. You know if there's a service fee, you know if there's a price increase, you know if there's a delivery fee, if there's automatic gratuity. Everything is told to you before you even start the ordering process. In fact, the people who are going to be fulfilling the order, you know their name and their logo, so you know exactly who's helping you. Connectivity, we already talked about it, bringing all of our services together under one banner. And then service. I'm a huge proponent of customer service, and I know that if any of you order from Table, I'm from the Twin Cities. I am not the best person to handle your customer service. I can certainly start the process and we can talk about it, but in our system, I am then able to connect you with the actual people who service that order, so that that person can answer your question within 5 minutes. They can show up at your door with a new bag of food. They can apologize in person. Anything that needs to happen, they can do that. And our product, customer service interface, so that you guys can order, and a back-end engine, so that every time an order comes into us, we can then filter it to the local provider appropriately. Our team has a lot of experience. I think we added it up, we have well over 200 years experience in the industry within our entire team. I am one of the founders and CEO. Pretty much my entire lifetime has been in the food industry, every job I've had. Front house, back of house in restaurants, being a delivery driver, being in management, owning a restaurant, I've done that too. And then running a delivery service itself. Emily Broski, my right-hand lady, she does everything I do as well. She has run a delivery service. I think it needs to be said that she has been in over 20 years as a delivery service owner and operator. That's astounding. She's one of the oldest, they have one of the oldest services out there. And then Paul Brown. Not only is he part of her company at Delivery Now, and that's in New Jersey, but he is also the president of the Restaurant Marketing and Delivery Association. So he saw where things were taking and all the problems that existed and helped bring us all together. So really, I think we have a couple different bosses. Ultimately, customers always our boss. But we work with restaurants directly who can do their own delivery or takeout on our website, as well as local delivery services. Help them get their word out, help them connect, and then work directly with them to make sure that customer service levels are up to par, that they have food and safety handling procedures, they're branded, so you don't just get some guy in t-shirt and jeans walking up to your door. That can always be a little frightening, especially when you order food. And just make sure that the overall experience is just something that you don't forget in a good way.